What's up, Mike Nowstalgia? Dave here with a review of Blitz, the new war drama film from Steve McQueen, starring Saoirse Ronan and Harris Dickinson, and newcomer child actor Elliot Heffernan. This is Steve McQueen's first work since he released the anthology film series Small Axe on Amazon Prime Video back in 2020. That was a series that had some feature-length films that were really good, such as Mangrove, some other stuff that was a little less effective, but overall really worthy effort and very much in the lineage of what you expect from the thought-provoking works of McQueen. But this is his first feature film since Widows came out way back in 2018, so it's certainly been a minute. I, of course, was really anticipating this film because Steve McQueen is simply one of the best directors we have right now. He's incredibly effective and talented and unique, and the filmmaking meets the ideas. Like he's really great. Blitz has been anticipated for some time. We thought maybe it was going to come out last year. It doesn't. It comes out this year, and it doesn't even do the traditional festival, premiere circuit. It kind of foregoes all the North American festivals and premiered at BFI in London this past fall, and then did a kind of limited release because this is an Apple film, so it had a small release in the UK, even smaller in the United States, and is now on Apple TV Plus. I really struggled with Steve McQueen's Blitz. On its surface, a film about the bombing of Britain during the heyday of World War II should be really compelling subject matter for a director as talented as Steve McQueen. And when you have Saoirse Ronan and Harris Dickinson as your two big leads in the movie, you should get excited about the prospect. The issue I have with Blitz, I did not want to spend this film following around a 9-year-old boy. Harris Dickinson has like 2 lines in the first hour of the movie. It's a really nothing part. And Saoirse Ronan, she plays a mother who's lost her son. She does good job with the material, but ultimately the material isn't even that deep for her. It's really no shots at Elliot Heffernan, who plays this 9-year-old boy George, who jumps off a train taking kids out of the city into the countryside to protect them from the bombings. His adventure back to his mom, that unsurprisingly goes quite perilously. That's all fine and good, but I just didn't really enjoy the adventure. The issue is this movie doesn't really know what it wants to be. Is it a movie about the sheer terror of the Blitz and surviving that? Sometimes. Is it a movie about racial identity during that time? Because George, of course, is biracial, having a black father. It tackles that sometimes, not that much, certainly less than I expected given McQueen's history. Is about women's role on the home front in general during the war effort, a little bit. Like, I just kind of struggle with this movie coming all together. There's certainly some dynamite sequences, namely some stuff in the underground and the subway as many people flock there as like makeshift bomb shelters. There's certainly some good material there and some like compelling set pieces for sure. Stephen Graham makes a big appearance as a the leader of like a gang of looters who are going after bombed out buildings and looking for valuables. But to me, I just never quite like totally invested in like the dramatic heft of the journey that George was on to get back to his mom. And when he finally does get back to his mom at the very end, I just didn't feel like it landed with much like pomp and circumstance the way you think it should. As I mentioned, Harris Dickinson's completely wasted. He plays a firefighter of some sort who's responding to the incessant bombings and knows Saoirse Ronan's character from living in the same neighborhood, something like that. I thought their relationship would maybe progress or evolve or come together in some kind of way as they, have a shared trauma, in real time, but no, it doesn't really even get there. I don't think the movie does a really good job portraying the bombings that much because we're so grounded the whole time. And obviously, there's some harrowing stuff watching, buildings being on fire. And the movie starts with, I think, a really nice little sequence where a firefighter knocks himself out turning on a fire hose trying to put out a fire. But like apart from like some of those sequences was look nice, I think the CGI overheads of a bombed out Britain or Britain being bombed at night, like those don't really look that great, add that much because they're so clearly like out of sync with like the rest of the movie, which is so grounded. I did enjoy some of the early stuff with George when he's on the train, when he's interacting with other kids giving him shit, assumingly because he's the one who looks different. It's fun to watch George jump off the train, link up with some other kids on a different train back to London. There's a really harrowing, kind of unexpected and sharp surprise death during that time, which I think certainly lands. But to me, it just comes across as a movie that has like a lot of like disparate parts and doesn't have like a grand like sweeping like statement or through line of any kind, and that's just so unlike the rest of Steve McQueen's filmography. So I'm disappointed by the movie for sure. They're going to campaign it for the awards, but I'm not sure how successful it'll be. Of course, Saoirse Ronan's always in the mix, given she's what 4-time nominee already. By the time she got to age 30, she also has another movie that's been widely celebrated out now, The Outrun, featuring another strong performance from her. So I'm not really expecting her to break through the field for Best Actress. Small part. Steve McQueen, certainly someone who has got a lot of Oscar attention, of course, in the past with 12 Years a Slave. I'm not really expecting much this time around. It's a bit of a soft miss for me. I mean, it's not like it's like egregiously bad. It's just not a movie that really comes together. And if anything, if everyone involved, obviously, very much looking forward to what's next from Steve McQueen. Hopefully, we find out soon. And Harris Dickinson, we know, is about to star in Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman coming out next month. And by all accounts, that's a movie that'll have people talking. I'm very excited to see that. So I think that'll kind of complete his big breakout, so to speak. Maybe it's already complete, depends how you view his rise to this point with like the Iron Claw last year and whatnot. You know, semantics, I guess, at this point. Harris Dickinson's a star, very exciting. And Saoirse, I think like in terms of her roles, this and the Outrun feel a little smaller recently. Like we haven't had anything super monumental from her since her Greta Gerwig run, which is now a handful of years ago. That being said, I'm not doubting her at all. I'm a big fan, and we know she has pretty impeccable taste when it comes to picking projects, picking people to work with, so I have no reason to doubt that at all. And yeah, I mean, Steve McQueen was bound to not have a banger eventually, so happens to the best of them. It's really nothing to worry about. But let me know, what did you think of Blitz? Did you like it more than me? If so, please let me know why. And for more movie reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.